So first and foremost, welcome to this video. It's going to be slightly different today. So what I mean by that is what I usually do with videos is that I'll plan it out a little bit. So I'll have like a little bit of a brainstorm, know what I'm talking about ahead of time before I get into it. Today is going to be more of an off-the-cuff video, just going to be supernatural, just talk through it. And basically the summary of this is that I was in the gym last night. I'll give you the short story. And the traffic outside was crazy. It was around about 5 p.m, so naturally traffic is going to be bad. And yeah, just decided to do some more cardio. So I just finished my workout, decided to do some cardio because it wasn't worth me going home at that point. And then whilst I was doing cardio, decided to reply to some messages. So I think I got through maybe like 30 to 40 messages. And I replied to them over voice message. I just love to do that and just talk to you guys over more of a personal note. And the same topic cropped up like time and time again. Must have been like, I say time and time again, probably like 3-4 times. So it's something that I really wanted to cover today. So basically the summary is that a lot of people was feeling like they wanted to give up or felt like they wanted to give up in the past. Hence the title 3 feet from gold, which is giving up 3 feet from gold, right? So basically, where do I start? Well, I think the trading space as a whole is just marketed in the wrong way. So, you know, when you say forex trader to someone, right, outside of the space, what do you naturally think? You're probably going to think, I've seen people on Instagram, nice cars, nice houses, lots of money, millionaires, like those are the common terms that you're probably going to associate with forex trader. A lot of screens is probably another one. But like it's just marketed in the wrong way, and I don't want to say these people are fake because sometimes they're not, but like it's just marketed in the wrong way than what it should be. You know, people come into trading because of that and think they can replicate the same results within such a short period of time, and it just doesn't happen that way. And I think it's just all down to marketing. So if people don't get it in 3 months, 6 months, a year, they then start questioning the strategy, questioning themselves, questioning forex altogether, and thinking, why has it happened to me? These people got, you know, houses, nice cars, R8s, Ferraris, whatever it may be, and then they just question everything, but it's just marketed in the wrong way. And I think that's what sometimes, you know, leads people on the wrong path in terms of giving up, throwing in the towel when it's just too early. They're just coming with the wrong perspective of how long it's going to take. So I think to throw a spanner in the works definitely doesn't take 3 months, it takes a lot longer. You know, I've had so many comments on social media from people saying, oh, he's 2 years into the journey, he's 2.5 years into the journey, how has he not broken through yet? How has he not seen results yet? How is he not consistent yet? It happens, that's a normality. Don't expect it to happen anytime soon. It can take time, it can definitely take time. Or you're going to start a business and then in 3 months just expect it to be doing 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures. No, you're not. It's going to take time, right? It takes time to develop a skill. It takes time to develop a skill. It takes time to then replicate that, put systems in place, put processes in place, and just overall optimize the process. And so many people have that mindset. Like I get it all the time on social media. Why haven't you broken through yet? And actually, right now I'm starting to break through, but I've just been super quiet about it. Haven't really spoken about it too much on YouTube. At all on YouTube, but over the last 4 or 5 months I have been breaking through into consistency, so it's good to see those tangible results. But like in my case, like it takes time. Before that I was just going like break even, maybe +1 here and there, maybe -1 here and there, and like just doing the break even dance for a long time. But that's natural, it's completely normal. Don't see anything odd about that. It's just, it takes time to develop a skill, it takes time to then be able to get results. And you've probably seen the J-curve graph of knowledge. You get the knowledge first, and then it takes a while for your results to catch up. But then before long, like you'll just accelerate in terms of growth. So I feel like that's what's happened with me, and it happens with everyone's journey. Like you look at success, you look at successful people in any industry, right? That happens the same thing. Why is it that people say, "Oh, this guy was an overnight success. This person was an overnight success"? No, they wasn't. They took years and years of hard work, but then that final push just accelerated their growth, and then eventually clicks, and then they just skyrocket into new levels of growth. So it happens time and time again. You know, these people, it's just similar stories over and over and over again. But I think people come into the wrong perspective, into trading with the wrong perspective, expect it to happen in 3 months, and if it doesn't, they just throw in the towel. And then that's where shiny ball syndrome comes in, where you just jump from one strategy to the next or one industry to the next. Like there's so many things nowadays in this generation, you could go literally from trading, Amazon FBA, drop shipping, starting a business, social media marketing agency. Like, there's so many different avenues you can do, and I see people start with trading, go into another thing, and then they bring that same expectation of it should happen within a year, should happen within 6 months. Then it doesn't happen in that industry, and then before they know it, 10 years have gone by. They haven't stuck to one thing, they haven't mastered one craft, and they're jack of all trades, right? Or they haven't even mastered one. So I see it time and time again, and that 3 feet from gold thing, I see it all the time in the trading space. I've had people close to me and people that I've known within, Falcon and the trading space as a whole, like, get so close to consistency and then just pack it all in at the final hurdle. Like I said before, the universe throws one last test. I guarantee if you look at successful people, you'll see it, and you'll hear people say it as well within books, whether it's on YouTube, you'll hear successful people say it. The universe will throw one last test at you, and at the time you probably won't know it's a hurdle, because it will be in some sort of failure or another. It'll be hidden away. Failure has like a reputation of going through the back door and just like catching people off guard. That's how Napoleon Hill describes it in Think and Grow Rich. But it is what it is. Like, the universe will throw one last test at you, and whether you pass that or not will determine whether you break through or not. So yeah, I've seen people go from like hitting 5% months to then 8% months, and still question whether it works, or whether trading is for them, or whether trading is legit, and like all this crazy stuff. It's just self-sabotage. It is just self-sabotage. And naturally we see stuff on social media from people who just say, oh, this is not possible. You'll never get hate from a person who is not at a stage you were at, right? So if someone is above you, you will never get hate from them. You're always going to get hate from people who are, I don't say below you because it's a wrong word, but like at a lower stage of the journey than you are. So you just got to bear that in mind. Like, yeah, you'll never get hate from a person that's above you in terms of the journey. So yeah, people get so close to consistency and then just give up, and I've seen it time and time again. And I think it's such a shame, because if they just persevered, just that final step, they would have got there. And like, yeah, it's crazy. I think social media as a whole just gives us wrong expectations, and not just social media. This generation, we see things such as like, I don't know, Amazon Prime, right? You expect a next day delivery on everything you order right now. I do the same sometimes. I fall into that trap as well. But like, we expect things so much instantly now that if we don't achieve success or we don't achieve results in a certain time frame, we start to question things. Same thing happened to me in social media. Like, get people time and time again saying, oh, where's this guy's results? Have you broken through yet? Like, are you just back testing that? I get all these comments. It is what it is. People can't comprehend what they don't understand, right? So it's just going to happen. It's a side effect of it. But yeah, you just have to approach trading in a respect that it's going to take time. Trading is a business, and it's going to take time. It's going to take time to develop. But I think going to trading with develop a deep why. I think a lot of people fail because they don't have a why. They don't have something tangible, something of substance to then keep them going through tough times. If you don't have a deep enough why, when challenges arise, there's no way you're going to persist, right? Because why would you? If you're in trading just to make money alone, when times get tough, when you get to challenges, you experience those hard patches within trading, those corrective periods within the markets, like, you're probably naturally going to give up. Like, it's probably the rational thing to do. It doesn't mean to say it's the right thing to do, but that's just like common sense as a whole. If you have passion, if you have drive, if you have a bigger why that's deeper, and you know exactly what you're going to do with the capital when you achieve it, whether it's 6, 7, 8 figures, whatever your goals are in trading, and you know exactly what you're going to do with that capital, and you have a deeper purpose, whether it's like, I want to help out my family, whether it's like, I want to, inspire people, whether it's what you want to impact people, whatever it is that you have, I think that deeper why is such an important thing. And you speak to successful people in any industry, and they will say that a very similar thing. And that's what I've taken on board from successful people as a whole. But yeah, a lot of people have not enough big of a why. I think it's so important coming into trading that you understand what it takes to to you know, break through and stuff like that. And you know, I don't want to come across as if I'm like, you know, speaking from like in the past and stuff, but I'm going through this journey as a whole. And what I like observe from other people and stuff is that it just takes time. Even from my own journey so far, I've had to work so hard at it. I've had to sacrifice a lot of things that hasn't been shared on social media, that I haven't shared in public. Those are like stuff in private. That I've had to like make a lot of sacrifices within my life, especially coming into trading like 19, I think it was. You know, I had to filter out my circle. I had to cut out toxic people. I've had to go through a lot of things to get to where I am today, and I don't want to come across like I'm there, but to get to this stage within the journey that I'm at, I've had to go through a lot of things. But it is what it is. You have to do what you have to do to get to where you want to get to, and I've had to work hard at it as well. Like there was a time, even going back to the 9 to 5 days back in 2017, start of 2018, when I was working 9 to 5. Even then, like I was working long days, 16, 17-hour days sometimes, especially the last 4 or 5 months of my 9 to 5. I was working 9 to 5, coming home, traveling home, eating, and then getting straight into the charts, learning how to trade, you know, constant back testing, just work until like midnight sometimes, and then I wasn't getting enough sleep. I was getting like four hours of sleep, I believe. And I was just going to work next day like a zombie, super slow, couldn't respond to, you know, normal conversations. I was just so slow in my head, because I was just brain fog from just being so tired. But it is what it is. Now I'm at a stage where in my journey where I'm past that stage. I've past the stage of like hustle. It's more so like optimizing systems, putting processes in place, optimizing this and that, and making things more efficient, and actually thinking in scale to get myself ready for trading more capital. But like in the beginning, it was just like hustle, learn, get as much out of every single period of time that I had. And I still bring that mindset forward to a certain amount of time, but at the same time, it's more so optimizing systems and automating things as well. But yeah, I think if there's one thing to take away from this video, just don't get too caught up in what people see on social media in terms of how long it's going to take for you to break through. Everyone's different. Some people are going to break through in less time than others. Sometimes some people are going to take longer. It depends on the individual. Not everyone's going to break through at the same time. For me, it's taking a little bit longer, but I'm starting to see tangible results now, which is good to see, and it definitely adds to the more confidence and confidence, not confidence. Jeez, trading. Self-confidence, not confidence. Yeah, definitely adds to the self-confidence. Also, one final thing to finish off as well. I think a lot of people ignore the self-development part of trading. You know, I mentioned self-development stuff on YouTube and people kind of turn a blind eye sometimes, but it's so important. I'm telling you, it's so important. I think a lot of people focus on the technicals, rightly so, because that's like the foundation. But you've heard of like the phrase of trading is 90% psychology and then 10% technicals. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot within that 10%. There's a lot of work in that 10%, but equally, there's a lot within that 90% that people just don't dig into. Like, I don't know, just off the top of my head, self-sabotage, limited beliefs, mindset issues, controlling emotions, not controlling, managing emotions, and just overall learning about yourself. I think self-awareness in trading is a big thing. And just quieting that inner chatter. Like, there's a lot of things in terms of mindset related stuff as well. But I think a lot of people just work on the technical aspect and then don't equally work on the self-development. And then that self-development part just lacks, and then a roadblock comes up, like such as like corrective conditions, or trying to manage emotions, or trying to deal with scale in terms of capital, and then they just can't cope with it, and then that's where things start to fail. Whereas if you start to bring them both up simultaneously, I think I said that right, you then give yourself a good foundation for success longer term. So I feel like that's what happened to me in 2018. I was just trading. You know, I was just so focused on backtesting and just the skill in itself, and I'm grateful for that. But my self-development took a back seat. I wasn't reading as much. I wasn't like developing myself daily, and I kind of felt like I just needed to elevate myself to my trading knowledge, and then bring them both together, which is what I feel like I've been doing in 2019. So yeah, in my opinion, work on them both simultaneously. If you can focus on your trading, but then equally work on yourself as well daily, then it's key. So yeah, to finish off, 3 feet from gold. So many people look up the story 3 feet from gold, by the way, just to give a little bit of context. But just don't give up. Just don't give up. I've come so close to. I would never giving up in my journey, because I had such a deep why longer term, and I've always had that mindset of never give up, never give in. Like, that's something I've always been brought up with from like a young age. So never's going to give up. But don't get me wrong, I've had a lot of hard times as well. I've had a lot of hard times, a lot of challenges, a lot of setbacks, a lot of roadblocks that I've come up with in the journey that I've had to deal with. But like, as you progress, you just get bigger and bigger challenges. So it's a good thing. But yeah, you just have to keep going, man. You just have to keep going. I don't know if I can explain it in any way. Like, it's just persistence. Like, people say, oh, persistence, but it literally is that's if you listen to a lot of successful people, success came one step further than what failure would have taken them, you know. So you just have to keep going. So yeah, a little bit of a rant today, but I just wanted to keep this super raw and just open up and just share my opinion on persistence, which was inspired by you guys, which I talked to yesterday on voice messages. So I appreciate you. And if there's any other videos that you want to see, whether it's technical side or self-development side or just the trading journey as a whole, let me know, because I'd be happy to create that. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video, and yeah, I love these sort of videos, so hopefully you do too. Let me know in the comment section if you liked it. Yeah, catch you soon, guys. Speak to you soon.